Good morning, guys. Ooh, I'm excited for this week's episode. I missed you guys last week. I like to record these same day, and I like to just talk to you guys throughout the week to see what's going on. Start this next week. I always record these and put these out on Mondays. Apparently, that's what's happening so far. If that changes, it changes, but that's what feels good right now. And I was traveling last week. So if you guys know Jill Stanton, and if you have an online business, you've probably heard of her. She was the other half of the Screw to the 9 to 5. Her husband, Josh, ran that. The two of them ran that back in the day. And Jill and I have just become friends over the past few months. I've helped her with some stuff. She's helped me with some stuff. And she invited me to her retreat. So she runs a company now called Millionaire Girls Club. And they were having a retreat out in Sedona, Arizona. And she invited me to come out and lead a session. And woo, what a powerful place. What a powerful group of people. I was just talking to one of my friends actually on Zoom, and I just experienced so much abundance that at some point it just stopped processing. I just needed a second to be able to process it all, because if you've ever been to Sedona, it's an incredibly healing place. There's just so much energy there. I felt wildly grounded, and just being in a group of really powerful people, it was so beautiful. It was a lot. And so I took 3 days to decompress. I haven't even been on social media because I just couldn't function. I'm such an introverted extrovert. So I can be extroverted for a bit, but then I need to cocoon for a long time. And last night in my journal, I literally wrote out 6 pages of abundance that I just experienced throughout that whole time. It was the most wild, coolest thing. So that's why there wasn't an episode last week. But I was meditating this morning, and I was talking to Lara, and I said, what should we focus on this week? And right away I heard the word worth, which is really interesting because when I was in Sedona, that was a lot of what people talked about too. Now, I know all of you guys are not business owners, but if you do happen to be a business owner and maybe you're newer in the business realm, be so gentle with yourself, right? Because I can't tell you, I have worked with incredibly successful people, and I don't name drop because confidentiality with my clients is huge. I have a big clause in my contract. So unless they drop it, I don't. And so just know I work with very successful people as their spiritual advisor. They all struggle with worth. The people I was just with in Sedona, the topic of worth came up a lot. And if you saw anyone in Sedona, you'd recognize those names on Instagram. They're recognizable names. A lot of people struggle with worth. It does not matter your level of success, but it's wildly important that we crack into this and help you guys really get down and dirty of how do you feel that worthiness? And I'm going to stop talking here in just 1 second because Lara is going to be the one who leads this. They have the wisdom, they have the insight. I know when it comes to spiritual advising work that I do, a lot of people plateau at some point, whether it's in the love department, in the financial department, in whatever department you want to say, it plateaus at some point. And that is because what they are trying to call forward requires their worthiness. So in this episode, my goal is to help you guys get really grounded in your worthiness and how to feel that deep worthiness within yourself. Because it is something that you can absolutely feel. I know in my healing journey, this was the biggest thing for me. And I mean everything. Minus my love life, which I'm so freaking grateful for Eric. I love him so much. Everything aside from that was at such a standstill because my worthiness was in their hands, right? My worthiness was in the hands of money. Because my belief back then was I am only worthy with how much money I bring in and how much money I give to my household and how much money's in my bank account. That was I'm almost embarrassed to admit that. That was a subconscious belief of mine. That was ingrained in my body. And I had to unlearn that. So I'm going to call through Lara, and then I'll also sprinkle in a little bit of my own experience there of just somebody who's had to walk this walk. And now I could have literally nothing and I would feel so incredibly worthy. And at the end of this episode, you'll understand why, simply because of what Lara is about to say. So I didn't grab questions from you guys this week. I love doing that. We won't do that in every episode, but next week I'll be sure to do that again. So I'll ask you guys on Instagram what topic it is you want me to speak on next week. I'll get your questions. There's a release. I'll get your questions, and we'll get cruising. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Gabrielle Lara. Gabrielle has 2 E's at the end. Or the Secrets from the Universe podcast on Instagram. Follow us there so that you can ask your questions and we will channel those next week. So let's call forward Lara. If you're not watching the video and only audio, I'm just going to quiet down for a second as I call them forward. We're so excited to be here. We are so excited to be back. And most importantly, we are so excited about this topic. And here is a yawn. Remember, if you guys are new here, yawns are my releases for your nervous system. So to the collective who's listening to this, that was a relief, literally relief to your nervous system that you are sitting here listening to this. That's really, really, really powerful. So let me just, those are always distract me for a second. Let me grab Laura again. We are so excited to be here. What a topic. This, humans and their worth. We are going to describe worth from our lens. And we're actually going to pull a question that somebody asked Gabrielle in Sedona, and they actually specifically asked for us. And this is why we remember this question, because our answer was so simple. They said, why do I not feel worthy? Was the question. Why do I not feel worthy? And our answer was so simple. It's because you are not seeing yourself through the eyes of source. You all choose what your source is. For Gabrielle, it's the universe. For some, it is God. For some, it is an object. For some, it is their grandmother. You choose what your source is. There is no right or wrong here. Just have it be a higher power. See your eyes through source. When you feel unworthy, it's because you have disconnected from source. And what we see a lot, and a conversation Gabrielle has had so much with her channeling clients, and in the membership that she has been seeing, the membership that we just recently launched, the questions in that, she can just see so clearly that this spirituality, right? This spirituality realm, whatever you want to call it, manifesting spirituality, insert your word, your connection to your soul side, it can't be dabbled with. We see so many people dabbling in it, dipping our toes in. Ooh, manifestation seems cool. And then when the work comes in, okay, back to being a human. There is a balance. Remember, you are a soul having a human experience. 50-50 balance. This worth, right? Feeling worthiness, that is when you are being 100% human. Our goal, here's a release. Our goal is for you to balance this out, tone it down 50%. 50% spiritual, your soul connection, and 50% human. Non-physical and physical. You could say that too if that aligns with you. When you do not feel worthy, it is because you're not seeing yourself within our eyes anymore. You are seeing yourself out of society's eyes. Your worth is not dependent on an object. It's not dependent on anything material. Anything. You are worthy because you are a being. When you cross over, right, which is the only guarantee that everyone has in their human experience, you will cross over at some point in your life. When? We don't know. It looks different for everyone, but you will. And when you do, your human physical body dies, as you all say. Your soul continues on. It comes up here with us. That is how Gabrielle is able to communicate, right? With these souls. That's how channelers, any channeler, is able to communicate. It is with these souls. This human experience is like one big video game. It is one big video game. Don't get so sucked in. Do not get so sucked in. Your worth is not dependent on anything. Any achievement, any amount of money, nothing. But when you all manifest, right? We work with so many of you on manifesting. You're trying to call in this thing, right? But your worth is dependent on you receiving that thing. That is your core belief. Whether you consciously acknowledge it or subconsciously, it's somewhere in your body or your nervous system, it puts such a heavy weight on this thing coming forward that it cannot be, because it's out of alignment with us. Everything you have ever wanted has manifested for you in your lifetime. It is out there. Everything you've ever wanted, it's right here. It just requires your vibrational alignment to it. And for you to vibrationally align with these big things that you want, these long-lasting manifestations, your worth cannot be tied to it. It can't. It doesn't work. In no way, shape, or form does that work. It can't. You must feel whole and worthy with or without whatever it is you're trying to call into your life. So, here's release. How do you do that? Let's ground here for a moment and let's get you a proper answer. You see yourself through our eyes. Gabrielle, here, let me chime in, because I want to make sure you get tangibles here, and that has been Laura's response this entire time, is seeing yourself through the eyes of Source. But how do you actually do that, right? Because we have, as humans, we have all this conditioning that's telling us, well, we only get attention from our parents when we get straight A's, so we're going to continue that into our adult life and work really, really hard, be the best employee ever, the best business owner, and then we will get the attention, and when we get the attention, then we feel worthy. You have to literally, it's like learning a new language. But you know you have gotten there when you can say the words, 3 words, I am worthy, without feeling a lick of resistance in your body. A lick of it. I am worthy. It feels good. Your stomach doesn't tighten. Your chest doesn't tighten. In order for you to do that, you must look in the mirror and say, what is my worth attached to? What is my worth attached to? And then go through every single thing and detach yourself from that. It's going to look different from everyone. For everyone, sorry. It will look different for everyone. But you have to just get the awareness first. Step 1 is that awareness of what it is that you are attaching your worth to. Step 2 is for you to start consciously, actively acknowledging, here's a yawn, for all your nervous systems. Remember, this is a big relief for you to hear. Step 2 is for you to consciously acknowledge when you are tying your worth to something, right? For example, maybe you're having a conversation with your partner around money, and maybe right now in this season, your partner is making more money, and they're contributing 70% to the bills, and you're contributing 30%, and your partner doesn't care at all, but it really feels so uncomfortable to you, and you say sorry, and you try to defend it, and all of these things. That would be a moment for you to stop and be like, wow, I am tying my worth to this. I don't feel worthy in my relationship unless I'm giving 50-50, right? That doesn't feel good to me. That doesn't feel true. That doesn't feel in alignment with me. I'd like to stop believing that. And you just putting that out there sheds so much from your vibration because you consciously acknowledge it. So often we subconsciously acknowledge it on repeat, and our body is just ready for it to get up and out. So when you bring it to the conscious mind and you speak it out, light years. It just puts you light years ahead. It really can be that simple. The third step is the release. And this can be done through hypnotherapy, through EFT tapping, through visualization, through meditation, through walking, through nature, through therapy, through talking to a friend, a million different ways. The release will look different every single time. How do you know which release to do? If you're watching the video, then you can follow along with me. And if you're on the audio, that's fine. But you could just put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly, shut your eyes, take a big breath in and out, and just say, I feel ready to release this now. What should I do, intuition? Show me how to release this. and see what comes to you. You may hear the name of someone. You may hear YouTube. You may see the YouTube's logo. You may see somebody you follow on Instagram. Maybe you see their picture. So then you go to their profile and you say, oh wow, they're actually a hypnotherapist. Maybe it's time to book a session with them. Your intuition will tell you every single time. So that's the tangible. I'm going to pull Laura back in for a moment. I just wanted to make sure you guys got those tangibles, because the tangible is really necessary. And on top of all those tangibles, remember, see yourself through the eyes of Source. If you believe in the universe, you believe in God, you believe in Source, you believe in your higher power, don't just tiptoe with them. See yourself through the eyes of them. You are pure love. Pure love. Let me grab Laura back. Bingo. Pure love. That is what we see from all of you. Regardless of your body weight, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your religion, regardless of anything, we see you as pure love. And our ask of you is for you to start seeing yourself out of pure love. When you see yourself out of pure love, release, you feel worthy. Why? Because you are in alignment. There's no deeper connection to alignment than seeing yourself out of pure love. It's the deepest form of alignment, and it's always available for you, and it is always right there. So when you find your ego starting to come in and saying, ooh, you don't belong in this room, you don't make as much money as these people, or you don't belong in this room, you don't look like those people. Acknowledge your ego, because the ego is really important, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Acknowledge the ego, thank the ego. Because the ego, and my friend Kristen says this in the most beautiful way, its purpose is to show you what is out of alignment. What a beautiful gift that ego is. It shows you what is out of alignment. Thank it, show it gratitude, and then I'm going to see myself through the eyes of Source right now. I am worthy. I do belong in this room. Regardless, you all could be naked, living under a bridge without a single material item to your name, and you are just as worthy as the wealthiest person in the world. It is on the same level for us. Nothing, absolutely no material object puts you, or achievement puts you ahead of anyone else in our eyes. You're all love, pure love. We invite you to start seeing yourself as that. We deeply urge you to start seeing yourself as that. It would be our greatest gift for you all to start seeing yourself through that. We acknowledge that you're humans. We know it's a little more complex. We acknowledge that. We know the ego is a real thing. We think the ego is a great blessing. What's an even greater blessing is your ability to distinguish between the two. To say which one is ego and which one is alignment. Which one is no longer serving me and which one would serve me in this moment. And you making the conscious choice of what road you'd like to go down, because you always have the choice. Always. There's never any right or wrong. It's just whatever route you choose to go. It's right there for you always. You are worthy beings. We have no doubt in our minds how worthy you are. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you've achieved in your life. You are a worthy human being. You are a worthy soul. You are a worthy physical human experience. And it is safe for you to acknowledge that now. It is safe for you to ground yourself in that. And it's safe for you to make peace with yourself. Because as you make peace with yourself, you begin to see that you've been worthy all along. This entire time. That will never change. We hope that this was helpful for you. I hope this was helpful, guys. If you have any questions at all about worthiness, definitely let us know. And if you need help in really grounding in your worthiness, come join us over in the membership. It's completely channeled by Laura. The link to join is below. We will be having our first membership call on Wednesday, August 6th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. If you sign up before then, we would love to see you on that call. I'm so excited to meet you all. I love you. I will talk to you next week.